What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be removing the servo motor. This will be the last video of this video series, which included first the GP22 install, the Gabros velocity stacks with air filter, Upmap with Gabros Map, dynoing it. I know we got roughly 200 horsepower. If you haven't watched that video, watch that video. And last video will be the servo motor. Right, the first thing we have to do is to remove the fairing. We're gonna start from the upper inner fairing with a 2.5mm hex, which is one here, and we have one over here, and one in there, so 3 total. One there, one here, and one over here. Okay, let's start with this. 2.5. Second one is right here. And the third one is all the way in there. To remove this, we actually have to remove this side lip. To remove this side lip, we have to unscrew it from the inside with a 25 Torx, which is over here from the inside on the side, right over there. Okay, now we should be able to remove this. Okay, this just snaps off, because that will reveal one more screw in here that holds the fairing on. I believe this is also a 2.5mm. All right. This should free it up. There you go. And this side panel is off. Okay, now that this is out, we're gonna go underneath the fairing from the front wheel. So for here, we're going to be removing one here, which is 3mm hex. We're going to be removing one Phillips head screw over here, and then 3 clips here. One clip, second clip is over here. So 1, 2, and the third one is right here. Okay, but let's start with the 3mm hex over here. Okay, so next we're gonna need Phillips head for this screw over here. And now for the clips, I'm gonna start with the first one there. I'm gonna be using this clip pliers, whatever you call this. It makes it much easier to remove it. Okay. That's one. Second one is right here. Okay, this tool makes it really easy to remove this. Okay, let's remove the third one. Put it up here. Okay, that's out. All right, next step will be to remove one 4mm hex and the second 4mm hex here for their lower fairing. The second here. So we can expose one more screw. I believe we have one more over here. Right there. This is the screw over there. We have one more there that we have to remove. Yes, that's a 4. Okay. All right, that's off too. That way we'll release the whole side fairing here from the lower. And everything looks free. All right. Okay, now we should be removing one here and one here, 4mm. And once we remove these two, we should be able to remove the entire fairing. Okay, let's see. I'll leave the center screws last because they're the main ones in the center that holds the fairing in place, while we remove the upper, lower, and the ones under the fork. And 2. Oh no, we have one more here. We have a third one here on the side, over there, 4mm. That should do it. Let's see. Yep, it looks loose. I think we got everything off over here. Everything's off here. Yep. All screws were removed. You just have to unclip it from the side under fairing here. So this is off. I'm gonna keep this in the side right now. Okay, now that the fairing's out, we're going to be removing the servo motor. I want to see something. I'm going to remove the servo motor first, and I want to see if I can actually keep this plastic bracket in place, so I can use the plastic bracket for cable management, so these can stay in place. So I'm going to try something different by first removing this stud over here. This is a 13mm socket. Okay, there we go. That's one. Screw it by hand. We're going to reuse this because this is where the fairing attaches. For this, I believe this is a 5. This is a 5mm hex. All right, keep this. There's a spacer here. Keep the spacer. All right, now we're gonna have to remove the servo motor connector under here. If you push it, there we go. This there's a tiny tab over there. You just push it in. If you push this in, it comes off. This is where you need to push over there, and then it's removed. Okay, once we remove this connector underneath, we're gonna remove this off. This can just come. If you push in the side, it just can just come off like this. There you go. And now the servo motor is loose from all the connectors here. All we need to do is basically pull the cables, but we cannot pull them yet because I have zip tied them in the back here, because I kept over here. I kept the servo motor while riding it, so now I have to remove them from here. I have one zip tie here. That's one. There you go. You may not have these zip ties here if you're doing it in one job, changing the exhaust and the servo. There you go. So now the cables are free. We should have more connection under here, a zip tie type of connector, but we'll see if we can push the servo all the way in. Okay, so to pull this cable out, you have to use this pliers underneath. I don't know if you can, it's possible to see it underneath the frame of the bike, but there's a rubber clip that's holding the 2 wires there. You basically have to put this underneath and pry the cable out like this, and you can unclip it. There you go, see? So you have to do this twice for each cable so you can release it underneath. Okay, so once you remove these clips, the clips that are behind the frame look something like this basically. So both cables are held by something like this. It's impossible to show you underneath. So once you unclip these 2, you should be able to remove both. I'm gonna pull this off. Okay, there's one more clip over here. Then we're gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna try to prop the cables out. Okay, I think I unclipped it. There we go. So there's also a zip tie in there underneath here that you can just snap off when you pull them. So it's all out. Okay, so basically now that you remove the servo motor, you're gonna have this cable that's completely loose and this. We're going to reconnect this. We just disconnect it to make space. Okay, let's reconnect it. Over there, cool. So my idea is that I don't wanna have all these loose over there. So what I wanna do is I wanna remove this plastic bracket, remove the servo motor from the bracket and keep the bracket to reinstall it here so we can help a little bit with cable management. So let's see if this is going to work. So to remove this plastic bracket, you will need a 10 millimeter for the rear nuts over here, and a 5 millimeter hex for this. Okay, one. Okay, let's have this bracket here. See, I don't know if the distances, we'll see. Let's see right now. Remove this screw. Keep this bracket. This is a servo motor. We're gonna put this inside and see if we can reuse this only. Basically, what I wanna do is install this here, reconnect this clip, and use this to use zip ties with this. Let's see if that works. Let's start with this. So the idea is to get this and reclip it over here. There we go. This 5 millimeter. Don't forget the spacer. Okay, that's in. That's it too. Perfect. So we can still keep this managed over here, this cable, and then we can take this cable and just zip tie it in there or something to keep it nice and tucked. Perfect, so this works. I'm gonna leave it like this. All right, so let's see how much this weighs. Okay, 650 grams. Nice, so basically that's almost 1.5 pounds, like 1.4 something pounds. It's pretty significant for how small it looks. All right guys, so that concludes the removal of the servo motor. I'm not going to be installing the fairings back. Why? Well, this is why. Next video coming up, carbon frame covers and swing arm covers. I think this is gonna look amazing, so stay tuned for this. Guys, if you like this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.